Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video, I wanted to talk about how to actually start your own business and really coming down to the issue that you should be okay with doing really small jobs whenever you start your own business. So I'm a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and this is something that comes up, and I see this a lot with a lot of different students and a lot of people that want to start their own business. They automatically want to jump right in and start doing some really serious things and think that they're going to be the big CEO and do a bunch of really interesting things and figure out the strategic direction and focus on multi-million dollar deals. And yeah, okay, all of that stuff does happen when you create a small business. But often when you create your own little thing, whatever the project is, you often have to do a lot of really small, kind of almost meaningless tasks, or it feels very meaningless to a lot of different ways before you can actually get to that particular point. So that is a really big thing whenever you do entrepreneurship, is to focus on the little things, because to know that those little things actually, that's how you build a business, right? There are so many little tasks that you have to do that people forget along the way that this has to be done. And when you create your own particular entity, whatever that is, you're the one, or maybe there's only a couple of you that created a particular team. You have to accomplish all of those things. So, if you want coffee in your office, you're going to have to be the one that's going to have to go get the coffee and put it into the office. If you want a clean office, you're going to have to clean your office. You're going to be the one that's going to be cleaning out things and washing things down, because, there's not a lot of other people that are going to be willing to do that on a regular basis. So as a CEO, you're there to serve the people that you're with. Or if you're doing this as kind of a side gig, you have to do a lot of sort of meaningless things, right? Or they feel very meaningless to a lot of different ways. So again, I mentioned I'm a professor of innovation and strategy and entrepreneurship, and I've been trained to do all these very complicated statistical analysis and look at big theories and sort of make up these big sort of grand gestures and all this kind of stuff. But when push comes to shove, when I'm trying to create this reciprocity project that you can see, I really want to do, there's some really cool things that I want to do with this. I want this to be the sort of first entity that we can do sort of experiments in the background and use this to allow for academic research to flourish and do some wonderful things. And I also want to make sure that people out there can get proofreading and be able to, to afford proofreading and to get accurate proofreading and stuff like that. So before this thing actually builds out, I have to do a lot of sort of nitty gritty things like putting out, and I love doing this, by the way. I'm not trying to, if you're watching this, I truly love doing this particular task, but a lot of days when I put out videos on a regular basis, or thinking about the sort of SEO, the search engine optimization in the background, there's a lot of sort of nitty-gritty things that are really tremendously painful. It's not just me actually talking. I have to I have to write sort of what's going on in the video, because that helps the search engines pick it up. I have to put down the keywords and focus on the keywords, which make a huge difference, which I didn't know until fairly recently. That there's just a lot of sort of nitty-gritty things that I'm like, oh God, like this is painful to do this kind of stuff. But it has to get done, because if you don't get it done, nobody else is going to do it. Nothing's going to happen with this particular endeavor. And then it's just going to be like, all right, well, what is this crazy person doing over here? So I think that's the lesson that I'm trying to point out, is that you have to be when you create your own small business, or if you're thinking of creating your own small business, or creating your own business, whatever it is, maybe you're interested in creating a consultancy, you're interested in building out, consulting firm, or maybe you're interested in building out a product development firm, whatever it is that you're interested in. Sometimes you have to do these things that you're like, oh God, this is painful, and I hate to devote my time to it. But you have to do that. That's part of actually building a business. So with a consultancy, you're going to have to start taking really small jobs that you're like, okay, before, is that maybe I was a lawyer, maybe you were I don't know, maybe you worked at a large consultancy before, but when you're starting your own consultancy, you're not going to get access to those particular jobs that somebody else got at that large consultancy. You might have to start at something really small and do something that seems, it's a start, right? And that's where you have to sort of start at the bottom and then you work your way up. And that's really what this is all about. And this message is that you shouldn't feel too good to do any particular task whenever you start your own small business. Just get out there and do it, and just start doing it on a regular basis, whatever that is. I love putting out these videos. I love to try to help you out in as many ways that I possibly can. But all the little nitty-gritty tasks, I would love to outsource out to somebody else. But, it's pretty expensive, and I wouldn't be able to sort of maintain this on a regular basis if I was to outsource it currently at this moment, because it doesn't bring any revenue in for me and to create this particular sort of entity. So I have to do it myself in order for this to actually make enough revenue that I can start actually paying for somebody to do all these kind of nitty-gritty tasks to help out, eventually help out other people and help out graduate students and things like that. So that is my point. Just get out there, grind away, do these little tiny things, and eventually it's going to happen. You just have to sort of stick with it long enough and keep plugging along. All right, so take care, have a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.